Hey, welcome back, everybody, with another episode of Coffee with Cagnetta live from New York. We are here at the Theorist Podcast Studios and very happy to have our native or sort of native New Yorker. I mean, he's been around New York for a long time, like I have. We'll count Jersey in a little bit. But Burke Purcell with LoanBud, and he's here to tell us his story and the story of LoanBud. So we love money as brokers and entrepreneurs. So, Burke, welcome.
Thank you, Andy. Pleasure.
So we're here in the city. LoanBud is here in the city?
We are.
Okay. So tell me your story. I mean, you came from New York?
So I grew up in New York in Westchester County, about an hour north, and I've been in lending now for over 20 years.
You look too young for that.
Yeah, I know. I have a baby face.
Right. That's good.
So it serves me well, actually. Yeah. When I was younger, I would always get ID'd, you know, 26 going into the bar. But no, it's been about 20 years in lending. Yeah.
All right. And so you've been in SBA lending. You've seen a lot of things change over the years. SBA, I think, I credit the SBA with really helping out the small business owner to make money when they exit. When they moved from $2 million to $5 million, that was such a huge change in the industry.
It's huge. And I think we're maybe overdue for
we are
a slight
well
bump.
overdue.
Well overdue.
Yeah, we're overdue.
What I really like is it looks like we're going to have a starting point with manufacturers. So that 5 million is going to be increased up to 10 once that bill gets signed. It's the Made in America Manufacturing Act. So we're expecting by the end of the year that should go into law. Yeah.
And I think that'd be good. I mean, we could use more American manufacturing plants. Certainly saw that happen over the last, 30 years that I've been in business. So a lot of things go offshore. So it's good to see stuff come back onshore. But again, why LoanBud? How'd you get involved in LoanBud? Whose idea was LoanBud?
So I'm the founder and CEO of LoanBud. We started out as a division of a public bank and a top 10 national SBA lender. We made the decision to part ways and become an independent marketplace at the end of 22 to be able to really open up our credit box and better serve the needs of entrepreneurs and our partners. So today we work with over 40 SBA lenders on our platform.
Right. And who are the people coming to your platform?
So in a lot of cases, it starts with brokers.
Right.
Obviously, we do a lot with Transworld. So we'll pre-qualify the businesses that are being sold. So we'll pre-qualify those listings. And then ultimately, it's the buyers who are interested in purchasing those businesses that have already been pre-qualified.
Right. So they're coming to you to find the best loan. How does that work? I mean, is it... I think of the other online mortgage platforms. Is it sort of a similar idea?
Well, getting a mortgage and getting an SBA loan are two very different things. I wish they were more closely similar. I have a background in mortgage, so I understand it really well. Getting an SBA loan is one of the hardest things that an entrepreneur will ever have to do.
I agree.
And navigating through the process is really not easy. So what a lot of people don't know, Andy, the SBA is just an agency. They're a government agency. They don't lend the money. So it's up to the individual lenders to set their own credit policy.
Right.
Well, every single one of them has their own credit policy. So how do you navigate that as a business owner or as even a broker? How do you know where to go to, who likes what? So we really come in to streamline that whole process and then help the borrowers get all of their loans together and get everything packaged up.
All right. So it sounds like you're trying to make the process a little bit more efficient out there.
A little more efficient.
Are they closing faster? Are the deals closing faster?
So we're typically closing in about 45 days from the time that we have a completed package. Yeah. So that's fast in the industry.
That is fast. It's very fast.
I'd say the average is probably 90 to 100, 120 days.
Yeah.
A lot of it has to do with the responsiveness of all the parties. So there's a lot of documentation that's needed, but the way we differentiate ourselves is we run parallel tracks. So we'll pre-qualify, and then once we know we have an LOI, now we're going to start working on the underwriting items in advance. We submit the loan to underwriting. We start working on the closing items in advance. So it allows us to really streamline the entire process.
Right. And again, your offices are here in New York. Is your staff here in New York too?
So
or
we
they're
have-
all over?
Well, we have 2 physical office locations. So our headquarters is here in New York City. We're on 51st and Madison, so not too far from here.
Right.
We also have an office location in Orangeburg, South Carolina, where a lot of our processing folks are located. We have a few remote people as well.
So you're doing the processing for the SBA lenders?
So we are doing the pre-screening and the packaging for the lenders. So we act as a referral agent for our lenders. We don't actually lend the money. So we have a network hand-selected over 40 lenders to be on our platform.
Wow.
So we know exactly what all the lenders are looking for.
So how long have you been doing this now?
So LoanBud started almost 4 years ago. We've been an independent marketplace now for about 3 years.
Wow. And you've grown a little bit?
We've grown a lot. Yeah. When we first went out on our own, we had, I think, 8 employees, and we're up to about 57 team members today.
Wow.
We've got a couple of really interesting custom softwares that we built to really help the whole process be a lot easier. So we work with brokers, obviously, a lot.
Sure.
And we have proprietary software to help pre-qualify listings up front. We also have a custom first-to-market software for the borrowers to be able to easily walk through the whole SBA process.
So if I'm let's start with the sell side. If I'm a seller out there and working with a broker, what's the advantage of getting your deal pre-qualified?
Massive advantages. Number one, you're probably going to command a higher price because there's going to be more buyer interest.
Right.
So most buyers need to use financing.
Right.
Not all, but many need to use financing.
Right.
And so having that deal pre-qualified is going to attract more buyers, so you'll command a higher sale price. That's number one. Number two, the deals are usually going to close faster because one of the biggest challenges with smaller businesses is getting all the books and records and all the documentation ready, right? So by doing this up front, we require up-to-date financials before we'll issue a letter. And we do all of that so that once the buyer comes around, we're able to move through the process a lot faster.
Yeah, so you're almost starting your due diligence room in advance.
We are. So we're pre-screening the deal. From the buyer's perspective, they know that if we have reviewed a deal and we were able to get a pre-qualification letter from a lender on that deal, that we've already screened the cash flow. And that's one of the biggest challenges when a buyer is looking for an opportunity.
Sure. And I think you're right. I mean, deals will sell for more if they have SBA financing.
100%.
I mean, it's the quality and quantity of the earnings, and quality earnings means that they could be financed.
Yeah.
And the sellers are happy, so that's the sell side. On the buy side, why would a buyer want to be pre-qualified?
So first thing, when you enter into an LOI, you're probably going to take the deal off of the street. So the broker is going to want to make sure that that buyer is properly vetted and that they can actually qualify to be able to purchase that business. So do they have the right credit? Do they have the right liquidity? And do they have the experience that's necessary to buy that target opportunity? So really for a buyer, it's almost like you can't buy a business without being pre-qualified.
Right.
It's like you can't get a mortgage for a house if you haven't been pre-qualified by a lender. It's very similar with buying a business.
So on the buy and sell side, do you align them with those partner banks in the beginning, or you wait for the deal to come together and then the deal is, chosen?
So we start with the business that's being sold. And what's interesting about SBA is you might have a business that's great. So it checks all the boxes for a lender. But then when the buyer comes around, maybe the buyer doesn't exactly align. Maybe they don't have the right credit score or whatever the case might be for that lender. So we start with identifying the lender up front, but then sometimes we need to pivot based on the buyer. So it's kind of it's a dual-sided pre-qualification process.
Well, I would imagine that's why you want to use LoanBud, because I've seen it many times before. The guest that I've had previously on Coffee with Cagnetta, we were talking about why deals die.
Mm-hmm.
And if a deal dies or that lender no longer wants to move forward with that deal or changes their credit box or something, how easy is it to find somebody else? If you're with LoanBud.
Yeah, well, with LoanBud, it's seamless, right? So we have one digital application. We have you in the system. if we go into underwriting, your deal should not die. So we have a 90% plus success rate once we go into underwriting.
Right.
But if we have to pivot, we can do it. And if you're a buyer, you have no idea really where to go for the money. Ultimately, you don't do this every day. So we act as the expert and we really just navigate the entire process for the buyer.
Right. So what are you seeing in the marketplace these days? I mean, interest rates have snuck down a little bit. A little bit. I mean, I always tell buyers and sellers, and first of all, money isn't free. So it shouldn't be free.
Right.
So, I mean, an SBA loan, you're borrowing money for a business. I mean, it's okay for it to be 8, 9%. I mean, that's the risk capital. Isn't that kind of the price of risk capital?
It is, and there's nothing wrong with paying interest.
Right.
The business that you're acquiring is paying the loan. You're not, right? So it's just part of the deal. You're also building equity in something. So over time, you're going to pay that balance down.
Sure.
And the value of your business hopefully is going to increase. So you're building equity in that business as well. The other thing with SBA loans is most of them are variable. So when the Fed starts dropping interest rates, then you'll hopefully float down with the market if you took a variable loan.
And you were saying before that you guarantee that's going to happen over the next. I'm just okay.
Well, all signs point toward
right.
rates falling. We've seen a nice little relief recently from the Fed, and I think there's obviously a lot of pressure right now on the Fed to drop rates. But we'll see. We're targeting 4 to 6 cuts in the next 24 months. That's what we're expecting. But we shall see. Nothing's ever written in stone.
No, nothing's written in stone. You never know what's going to happen to the economy and things like that. But over the last few days we've been sitting here, it seems like the uncertainty of tariffs may be cooling off somewhat, and I think that may stabilize the markets, which may give us a reason to lower rates again. Markets
like certainty. So to have certainty, I think, is good for everyone, and I think we're trending in that direction where we have a little more certainty.
So, tell me some of the things you like as a leader, in leading LoanBud. Like, you were with a big institution, and then you broke it off, and it freed you to kind of be a little bit more innovative. Why?
So I like to be able to run. I like to be nimble, be able to make quick decisions, and you have to be adaptable in this market. And when you're part of a public bank or any large organization, there's obviously always going to be some red tape there that you have to go through. So I look for the people that we join our team really are the most important part. So the culture that we build in the organization is, I believe, it's second to none. So we just look for good people. We start there. So good, kind, genuine people that are really intelligent. There's a lot you can do at that point.
Yeah. All right. And so as a leader, I would imagine in a business like this, you're bringing in some young people as well. What's your advice to young people out there in the world looking to do something like this?
Yeah, work hard. Work hard, right? I think there needs to be a mentality that you're going to do what you have to do in order to learn your craft. And I think nowadays with all the technology and advancements, it's real easy to forget that you have to grind. I remember when I first got into lending, Andy, I had to pick up the phone and dial for dollars. I remember my manager telling me, "Don't stop until your finger hurts at the end of the day."
Really?
That was
How many calls
a
a day were you making?
It was about 200 a day that I was making, and this was back in the early 2000s, and I was doing mortgage lending, and literally it was
at least they had push buttons back then. You weren't still sliding the thing
back
around.
When the dinosaurs were roaming the earth. Yeah, they had they had some newer technology back then, but you have to grind, and I think having the right mentality as a young person is really, really important, right? You have to earn what's yours. You have to go out there and gain respect, and no one owes you anything in this world. So I think just having the right mentality, the right focus is going to get you really, really far.
Yeah, I'll always take somebody that will be a hard worker over someone that is, quote unquote, has the resume. I'd rather have a hard worker.
Give me a hard worker. Give me positivity, right? And being a genuine person, I'll take that all day long.
Yeah, you mentioned that twice already. It's so
Yeah,
genuine people,
totally.
especially on a smaller team.
100%.
I
It's
mean,
really
we all
important.
got to come to work together. Sometimes we spend more time at work than we do at home.
I want to be around people I like.
Right.
That's it. I'm at a point in my career where I can pick and choose what I do, who I work with, the projects, and I want to be around really, really good people.
So one of my dreams is to live in New York City at some point. And, I've adjacently lived in New York City at different times in my life, but never, what's it like? Do you like living in the city? You like being a city person?
I do. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with New York
doesn't
City.
everybody have a love-hate relationship?
A little bit, yeah. I would say overall, though, it's wonderful. We have a young daughter, and just to be able to go outside and walk into the parks and really be active is great. I like to walk. That's my thing in the city.
Okay.
I'll just walk for blocks and blocks. I'll walk for 2 hours in a row. I just love it. That's my activity in the city.
I love that too. I mean, so what are your first? You have some favorite restaurants in the city as well?
I have a few. It really depends on what it is that we're going for.
Right.
I'd say top steakhouse is a place called the Strip House. It's on so there's 2 locations in the city. I would highly recommend the downtown one on 12th and University. That's going to be my favorite restaurant, definitely favorite steakhouse. And the New York Strip there is unlike anything you will ever eat.
I'm a New York Strip guy, so now I have to go.
Nice. Love it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so, in the future, for LoanBud and in the future of the business brokerage / small medium-sized business market, what are you seeing coming up? I mean, obviously we keep talking about the baby boomers. We keep talking about, has the silver tsunami arrived?
I think the silver tsunami is here, and I don't think it's going anywhere.
No, I don't.
Particularly over the last 18 months, we have just seen such an uptick in business buying and selling. And what I find really interesting, Andy, is it's a lot of younger folks that they're coming out of business school. I mean, they're going to Yale or Wharton. They're getting an MBA. And it used to be back when I was younger that people would want to go work on Wall Street or investment banking or raise some money from a VC. But now they're going out and they're buying roofing businesses and home services businesses. And I find that to be a really interesting trend paired with all of the baby boomers that want to sell. So there's tremendous opportunity in the business for sale market.
There's a ton of opportunity out there for young people. And we've said it before that young people there was a New York Times article, I believe it was New York Times, that say why they're buying boring businesses. And I think roofing was one of the examples. So
yeah, roofing, HVAC, all of these businesses. And I don't know, the boring businesses, I think, is always an interesting thing because I hear that a lot as well. It's kind of a term, right? I don't think businesses really can be.
I don't think any business
is boring, right? Getting into the ins and outs and the personnel management and the technology and the operations and the sales and how you run a business is really fascinating. It's my favorite thing is running a business and entrepreneurship in general.
So you've seen a lot of people leverage SBA loans for businesses. Let's leave them with some tips that you think that are helpful in approaching that. What should they be looked for in those businesses?
It starts with cash flow. So SBA loans are government guaranteed loans that are based on the cash flow of the business that's being sold.
Right.
So when we look at things like SDE, that can be a little, bit of a throw off. Although maybe from a marketing standpoint, yes, but from an actual lending standpoint, you have to start with identifying businesses that make enough money to pay the new SBA loan. So that's a starting point.
Right.
And then if you decide to go down the road, you have to just make sure that you are dedicated to the process. Your first chance to be an operator starts when you are applying for an SBA loan. Okay. So you want to go in and approach this as if you're running your own business. Get your documentation back quickly. Don't question every time something is asked of you. Just go back, get it. And that goes for the sell side too. So the faster we can get documents, obviously the faster the deal is going to end up getting closed.
Right. Well, those are all great points. Burke, what's the best way to get in touch with LoanBud if somebody wants to?
Go to loanbud.com. You can get in touch with us that way.
Yeah, that's Pretty simple. So I want to thank you. Thank you for everything you do to support Transworld. It's really important. Thank you for everything you do, not only to support Transworld, but you support the business brokerage and the small business intermediary industry with the IBBA and other local business brokerage organizations. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Andy. Appreciate it.